I stood at my kitchen counter, hands covered in flour from the pie crust I was rolling, when I noticed Rachel's smile didn't reach her eyes. Again. It was Thanksgiving morning, and our Connecticut home smelled like roasted turkey and cinnamon. Rachel had arrived with my son Michael an hour earlier, and she'd been helping me prep food while he watched football with his father in the living room. She was beautiful in a cream cashmere sweater, her dark hair pulled back in a neat ponytail. Everything about her looked perfect. Too perfect. "How's the stuffing coming?" I asked, trying to catch her gaze. "Almost done, Patricia." She kept her eyes on the cutting board, chopping celery with mechanical precision. Chop, chop, chop. The rhythm never varied. "You can call me Mom, sweetheart. You're going to be family in 3 months." She glanced up then, and for a split second, I saw something flicker across her face. Fear? But it vanished so quickly I wondered if I'd imagined it. "Of course. Mom." The word sounded forced, rehearsed. Michael appeared in the doorway, still holding his beer. "How are my favorite women doing?" Rachel's shoulders tensed. I noticed because my hands stilled on the rolling pin. "We're great, honey," I said. "Rachel's been a tremendous help. That's my girl." Michael crossed the kitchen and put his arm around Rachel's waist, his hands spread across her hip, fingers pressing into the soft cashmere. She didn't lean into him the way she had when they'd first started dating 18 months ago. Instead, she stood rigid, smile fixed in place. "Michael, your father needs another beer." I lied. "Can't Rachel get it?" He didn't remove his hand. "I need her help with the turkey." My voice came out sharper than intended. He studied me for a moment, then kissed the top of Rachel's head and left. The moment he disappeared, Rachel's shoulders dropped. She exhaled, long and slow. "Are you all right, dear?" "Fine. Just tired. Work's been crazy." She resumed chopping, faster now. I wanted to press, but something stopped me. Maybe it was the way her hand trembled slightly. Maybe it was the fact that she'd lost weight since summer, her collarbones now prominent beneath her sweater. Or maybe it was because I'd been a teacher for 37 years, and I'd learned to recognize when something was wrong, even when no one was talking. The doorbell rang. Michael's voice boomed from the living room. "I'll get it." Rachel's phone, sitting on the counter next to the celery, lit up with a notification. Then another. And another. The screen filled with messages, all from M. "Where are you? I don't see you in the kitchen anymore. Answer me." "Rachel? Don't ignore me." My blood ran cold. Rachel lunged for her phone, but I'd already seen enough. Her face had gone pale. "I should check on Michael," she mumbled, clutching the phone to her chest. "It was my sister," I said loudly, stopping her. "At the door. She's bringing the pies." Rachel nodded, but her hands shook as she typed a response on her phone. I glimpsed the beginning of her message. "I'm here in the kitchen with your mom. I promise I..." She turned the screen away, but damage was done. My son was texting his fiancée from one room away, tracking her location within our house, and she was apologizing for it. I picked up my wine glass and drank deeply, mind racing. When had this started? How had I missed it? My sister Nancy bustled in, arms full of pie boxes, breaking the tension. "Happy Thanksgiving." "Oh, Rachel, you look gorgeous as always." She air-kissed Rachel's cheeks, then whispered to me as she set down the pies, "Is everything okay? You look like you've seen a ghost." "Later," I mouthed. Dinner was agony. Michael sat at the head of the table, playing the perfect host. He carved the turkey with practiced precision, made jokes that had everyone laughing, complimented my cooking. But I watched Rachel. I'd never really watched her before, not like this. She asked Michael before reaching for the wine bottle. "May I?" "Of course, honey. Just one glass, though. Remember, you said you wanted to lose a few pounds before the wedding." Rachel's face flushed. She was already thin. Too thin. "You mentioned you were looking at venues last week," Nancy said brightly. "How's that going?" "We found a beautiful place in Greenwich," Michael answered before Rachel could speak. "Estate wedding, very elegant. Rachel wanted something smaller, but I convinced her that we need to make a statement. After all, the partners from my firm will be there." "What did you want, Rachel?" I asked quietly. She glanced at Michael, then at her plate. Michael's right. The Greenwich estate is beautiful. But what did you want originally? Mom, don't grill her, Michael said, laughing. But his eyes weren't laughing. Rachel and I make decisions together. That's what marriage is about. Tom, my husband, changed the subject to football. I barely heard the conversation. Under the table, my hands clenched into fists. After dinner, I asked Rachel to help me with dishes. Michael started to stand. Just us girls, I said firmly. Tom and Nancy can keep you company. In the kitchen, I ran hot water and squirted soap into the sink. Rachel picked up a dish towel, silent. How long has he been texting you like that? I asked. Her hands froze on the towel. I don't know what you mean. Rachel. I turned off the water and faced her. I saw the messages. Where are you? Answer me. You were 10 feet away from him. He just worries. That's not worry. That's control. She shook her head, backing away. You don't understand. Michael loves me. He just likes to know where I am. It's sweet, really. He cares. Sweet? I heard my voice rising and forced it down. Sweetheart, I was married to an abuser once. Before Tom, I was 19 and thought love meant someone wanting to know where I was every second. It took me 3 years to leave, and by then I'd lost my friends, my job, my sense of self. Rachel stared at me, eyes wide. Michael isn't, he would never. Where are your friends, Rachel? The ones you used to post about on social media? She opened her mouth, then closed it. When's the last time you saw them? They were bad influences. Michael helped me see that. My heart shattered. I'd heard those words before, from my own mouth, decades ago. And your job? Last Christmas, you were up for a promotion. Director of marketing, you said. I turned it down. The hours would have been too demanding. Michael and I want to start a family soon, and did you want to turn it down? Silence. Rachel, look at me. I stepped closer, gentle now. When you think about the wedding, about marrying my son, do you feel happy? Or do you feel relieved that you won't disappoint him? A tear slid down her cheek. Then another. I love him, she whispered. I do. He's successful and smart, and everyone says we're perfect together. My parents adore him. He's going to be a partner at his firm. We'll have a beautiful life. And what about you? What will you have? She crumpled then, sobbing into her hands. I pulled her into my arms, this girl who was supposed to become my daughter-in-law, and let her cry. He checks my email, she said between sobs. My texts, my location, always. He picks out my clothes because he says I don't dress appropriately. He got angry when I went to lunch with a coworker, said she was trying to turn me against him. I'm not allowed to talk to my brother anymore because Michael thinks he's jealous of what we have. I can't remember the last time I made a decision without asking him first. Ice flooded my veins. This was my son, my Michael, the boy I'd raised, read stories to, taught to ride a bike, and he'd become the thing I'd spent 3 years escaping. We're going to fix this, I said. I can't leave him. The wedding's in 3 months. Everyone's coming. My dress is already altered. The deposits are paid. Rachel, listen to me. I held her shoulders, made her meet my eyes. None of that matters. Not the dress, not the deposits, not what people will think. The only thing that matters is your safety and your freedom. But I love him. Love doesn't demand you ask permission to pour wine. Love doesn't isolate you from friends and family. Love doesn't track your every movement or read your private messages. I brushed tears from her cheeks. What you're describing isn't love. It's a prison with nice curtains. She was shaking now, full body tremors. I don't know how to leave. He'll be so angry. He'll say I'm overreacting, that I'm throwing away our future. He'll call my parents and tell them I'm being irrational. They'll believe him. They always believe him. You're not crazy, and you're not overreacting. I grabbed a paper towel and handed it to her. But we need to be smart about this. Do you have anywhere safe to go? My friend Jessica, I haven't talked to her in months, but before that, we were close. Michael said she was trying to sabotage our relationship because she was single and jealous. Do you believe that? Rachel paused, really thinking about it. No, Jessica warned me. Last summer she said Michael seemed controlling. I got angry with her, said she didn't understand him. But she was right. She was right the whole time. Can you contact her? Michael checks my phone every night before bed. He has all my passwords. Of course he did, I thought fast. My phone. Use my phone. Go into the bathroom, lock the door, and call her. Ask if you can stay with her for a few days. Don't explain everything now, just say you need space and you'll explain later. What about Michael? What will we tell him? Let me worry about Michael. She looked terrified but nodded. I gave her my phone, then stood guard in the hallway while she locked herself in the bathroom. Through the door, I heard her voice, shaky at first, then stronger. Jessica? It's Rachel. I know I haven't called in forever, and I'm so sorry. I need help. Can I please stay with you for a few days? Please? My heart pounded. Please let Jessica say yes. Please let this girl have one friend left who cares. Rachel emerged 5 minutes later, eyes red but determined. She said yes. She's coming to pick me up. She said to go somewhere public and wait, that she'll be there in an hour. Good. Here's what we're going to do. I was already formulating a plan. I'm going to tell Michael and your father that you and I are going to the store for whipped cream. I forgot to buy it, completely slipped my mind. We'll take my car. Jessica can meet us at the grocery store parking lot. You'll get in her car, and I'll come back here alone. But what will you tell Michael? That you felt sick. That Jessica picked you up and is taking you home. That you'll call him tomorrow. He'll come to my apartment. Does he have a key? Yes. Then you're not going to your apartment. You're staying with Jessica. When you're ready, we'll arrange for someone to pack your things. But tonight you're getting out. He'll call you. He'll come here. He'll be furious. Let him be furious. I straightened my spine, feeling 50 years of resolve solidifying into steel. I've faced down angry men before, Rachel. I survived my first husband, and I'll survive my son's temper. You just worry about yourself. She grabbed my hand. Why are you doing this? I'm not even your daughter. You're a young woman who deserves better than what my son is giving you. And because if I don't help you now, I'll have to live with knowing I let you walk into the same hell I barely escaped. I squeezed her hand. Now, fix your makeup. We're going to the store. Michael looked up from his coffee when we came back into the living room. Everything okay? I heard crying. Happy tears, I lied smoothly. We were talking about the wedding. You know how emotional women get. He smiled, satisfied with this answer. Men like Michael always believed what they wanted to believe. Actually, honey, I completely forgot whipped cream. Rachel and I are going to run to the store real quick. I can go, Michael said, already standing. No, stay with your father. Rachel and I want to chat more. Mother-in-law, daughter-in-law bonding. I kept my voice light, casual. He looked at Rachel. You okay with that? The fact that he was asking her permission to ride in a car with his mother should have been all the red flag I needed. Of course, Rachel said. Her voice only shook slightly. We grabbed our coats and headed out. In my car, Rachel started crying again. Thank you, she whispered. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. We still have to get you to Jessica. The grocery store was 15 minutes away. I drove carefully, checking my mirrors. Part of me worried Michael would follow us, but his car stayed in our driveway. Jessica was already there, a petite blonde in a Honda Civic, engine running. She jumped out when she saw Rachel. Oh my God, Rach. They hugged, both crying now. I introduced myself quickly, then gave Jessica my number. Call me if you need anything. Money, a lawyer's number, anything. Thank you, Mrs. Patterson. Jessica's eyes were fierce. I've got her. She's safe now. Rachel hugged me one more time. I'm sorry, she said. I'm so sorry about Michael. You have nothing to apologize for. He does. I cupped her face. Be safe. Be strong. And remember, you deserve someone who treats you like a partner, not a possession. I watched them drive away, then bought whipped cream and drove home. My hands shook on the steering wheel. Michael met me at the door. Where's Rachel? She started feeling sick in the store. Stomach bug, I think. Her friend Jessica was nearby and offered to take her home. Why didn't she call me? His face darkened. She didn't want to ruin Thanksgiving. You know how she is, always thinking of others. He pulled out his phone, dialing. It went to voicemail. He tried again. Voicemail. She's not answering. Michael, she's probably in the bathroom being sick. Give her some space. I'm going over there. He grabbed his keys. Tom appeared from the kitchen. Son, give the girl a chance to recover. You can check on her tomorrow. I need to make sure she's okay. Michael's jaw clenched. And you will. Tomorrow. My husband's voice was firm in a way I rarely heard. Tom was a gentleman, but when he used that tone, people listened. Michael paced our living room for the next hour, calling Rachel's phone every 10 minutes. Each unanswered call made him angrier. I watched my son, really watched him, and saw a stranger. At 9 p.m., he left, saying he was going to Rachel's apartment. I didn't try to stop him. Rachel wasn't there. He came back at midnight, furious. She's not home. Her car is there, but she's not answering the door. Where is she, Mom? I don't know, honey. Maybe she's staying with Jessica tonight. Give me Jessica's number. I don't have it. Yes, you do. I saw you talking to her. His eyes narrowed. What did you say to Rachel? I didn't say anything. Bullshit. He never cursed at me. Ever. What did you tell her? Tom stood. Michael Raymond Patterson, you will not speak to your mother that way. Then she needs to tell me what she said to my fiancé. I told her the truth. The words came out calm, steady. I told her that love doesn't mean tracking someone's location every second, that love doesn't mean isolating them from friends and family, that love doesn't mean controlling every aspect of their life. Michael's face went white, then red. You had no right. I had every right. She was crying in my kitchen, Michael. Shaking. She asked permission to pour wine at dinner. Permission, and you text her constantly, demanding to know where she is even when you're in the same house. That's not love. That's abuse. How dare you? No, how dare you? My voice rose. I raised you better than this. Your father and I taught you to respect women, to be kind, to be decent. Where did we go wrong? Rachel is oversensitive. She needs structure, guidance. I'm helping her become her best self. By cutting her off from everyone who cares about her, by monitoring her every move, by making her ask permission for basic decisions. I shook my head. That's not helping, Michael. That's controlling. You don't understand our relationship. I understand it perfectly. I lived it. The words burst out. Before I married your father, I was with a man who did exactly what you're doing. He tracked me, isolated me, made me feel like I couldn't breathe without asking his permission first. It took me 3 years to leave, and when I finally did, I had nothing. No friends, no job, no confidence. I've never told you this because I was ashamed, but I'm not ashamed anymore. I survived it, and I will not watch you do the same thing to Rachel. Michael stared at me like I'd slapped him. I'm nothing like your ex. You're exactly like him. And if you can't see that, then you need professional help. He grabbed his coat. When Rachel comes to her senses, she'll come back to me. And you'll have to live with knowing you ruined her life. If she comes back to you, then I failed her. But I don't think she will. I met his eyes. I think she's finally free. He slammed the door on his way out. Tom put his arm around me. I collapsed into him, sobbing for the first time since Rachel had left. Did we raise a monster? I asked. We raised a good boy, who made bad choices. Whether he can become good again is up to him. Tom held me tight. But you did the right thing. Rachel deserves better. He's our son. And that's exactly why you had to tell him the truth. Because if we stay silent, we're telling him his behavior is acceptable. It's not. I cried myself to sleep that night. Rachel called me the next morning from Jessica's phone. He's been texting me all night, hundreds of messages, calling from different numbers because I blocked him. He showed up at Jessica's apartment at 3 a.m., banging on the door. We called the police. My heart sank. Is he in jail? No, they just told him to leave. But I'm scared, Patricia. I'm so scared. Listen to me. Today you're going to file for a restraining order. I'll pay for the lawyer. Then we're going to get your things from your apartment. I'll go with you. We'll bring Tom and Jessica too. You're not doing any of this alone. What about the wedding? Forget the wedding. Your safety matters more than any dress or venue or what people will think. She was quiet for a moment. My parents are going to be so disappointed. Then they're disappointed in the wrong person. You're not the one who should be ashamed. Michael is. 2 weeks later, Rachel had a restraining order, her belongings, and a new apartment across town. Jessica helped her get her old job back. They'd never filled the director position, and her former boss was thrilled to have her return. Michael tried to contact her constantly, violating the restraining order twice, before finally giving up. He hired a lawyer, threatened to sue me for interference, but his attorney talked him down when they realized there was no case. I haven't spoken to my son since Thanksgiving. He sent a text on Christmas. I hope you're happy. You destroyed my life. I responded, no, son. I saved hers. When you're ready to get help, to really change, call me. Until then, I love you, but I cannot support what you did. He never responded. Rachel came over last Sunday for coffee. She'd gained weight back, her smile was real, and she'd started dating a teacher from her yoga class. Nothing serious, she said. I'm just learning to trust again. To trust myself most of all. That's the hardest part, I told her. But you're doing it. She squeezed my hand. I don't know if I ever thanked you properly. You didn't have to help me. I was marrying your son. Most mothers would have taken his side. Most mothers love their children too much to let them become abusers. I smiled sadly. I still love Michael. I always will. But I love what's right more than I love making excuses for him. Tom joined us, bringing fresh muffins. Rachel laughed at one of his terrible jokes. And I thought about that Thanksgiving dinner, about seeing those messages on her phone, about making the choice to act instead of look away. Some people say I betrayed my son. My sister